Yes, I'll introduce you first and then we can start. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay.
Welcome to Great Events. What, why, and how of pathways. Today we have Raghunadha Raju with us. He has completed 9 pathways.
Oh,
He has mentored several members across the globe on pathways. He believes in converting his personal experiences and stories into speeches. Raghunadha Raju is a Division A director. Please help me welcome 3-time distinguished Toastmaster, Raghunadha Raju.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Abhijit. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to this meeting today. Before we start, I have one question for everyone in the room. Rather, something we'll do an icebreaker. In just one line, please tell me your name, your club name, and third is what is your expectation from this session? What is the one thing that you want to take away from this session? Let me start with Armando.
Good afternoon, Raju. My name is Armando Fernandez. I am with the Salinas Sunrise Toastmasters in California. And I recently started about a month ago. And so I'm in the process of choosing one of those 9 or 11, I think. I don't know how many. I think it's 9 pathways. So I'm hoping to maybe get your feedback on what would be the best selection of those pathways for me, really.
Wonderful. Thank you, Armando. You should be able to do that after this session. Thank you. Pamela.
Hello, my name is Pamela McHenry, and I'm from Santa Cruz, California, at the Santa Cruz Orders Club. I have done 2 pathways, and what I would like as a good takeaway is to be able to have a simplified version to relate to others of how to approach just doing a speech with the material, a simple way of getting it together.
Thank you, Pamela. John?
yeah, this is John. I'm from California. I'm from Sunnyvale, the city of Sunnyvale, located in Silicon Valley. Yeah, the motivation to join to Toastmaster is I'm gonna have different rules. One of them, I have different rules to speak different audience. You know, most of the time before my career, I speak to the developers, engineers. Sometimes now I have to speak to technical support and customers, and then different audience. So I joined the Proof Point internal Toastmaster and try to boost my speaking skills to talk to the different customers and get better results. Okay.
Thank you very much, John. So I'll come to Nagraj and then request you to make it very clear so that we complete within 5 to 10 seconds. Okay, Nagraj, name, club name, and what is your single expectation from this session?
Hi, Raghu. My name is Nagraj. I'm part of the NSpeak Club. So key takeaway I'm looking forward is some insight into pathways that I can't find in Toastmaster International website.
Thank you very much. Gary?
Sorry, I was unmuting myself. So this is Gary. I'm Gary Wu. I'm actually with the Panthers Toastmasters at Palo Alto Networks in California. I can't hear you. I think you're muted, Raghu. But I actually am based in Dallas, Texas. But they're a good group. We're same company. And one thing I wanted to take away from this is kind of like how to navigate pathways. How do I know which one is good for me? And maybe where I can start, because I've never actually gone through the website and looked through it either. So thank you for having this.
Thank you, Gary. Shanti?
Hi, Raghu. This is Shanti. I'm from Minnesota and I belong to Women Lead Toastmasters. And then my key takeaway from this session is to learn about different pathways and think about differently than what we learn from the website.
Thank you, Shanti. Kuresh?
Hello, Raghu. So I'm Kuresh. I belong to Santa Clara Intel Toastmasters Insiders Group. And I just wanted to explore the universe of Toastmasters and learn a little bit about pathways that everyone talks about. Thank you.
Thank you. There's too much buzz on pathways and you want to what's it out. Kunal?
Hi Raghu, I am from NVIDIA International Toastmaster and I would like to know your insights on pathways and just want to broaden my horizon.
Thank you. Carlene?
Hi, hello. I don't even know what to say. It's night here. So, but anyway, hello everyone. Hello, Raghu. Good to see you all. I am with 3 clubs here in North Carolina, and I'm hoping to leave this session with some simple things that I can share with some of our new members. Back to you.
Thank you very much. So, Sune, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Sune? Ramya?
Hey Raghu, this is Ramya, and I'm part of Women Lead Toastmasters in Santa Clara. This is my first time at Toastmasters, so I wanted to learn more about the different pathways that we have and any insights and some information that might not be there on the website. Thank you.
Thank you. Ekaterina?
Yes, hi, my name is Katrina. I belong to entrepreneurs group at Bay Area, and I'm here to learn some new information. I'm excited.
Thank you. Will?
Hi, Raghu. My name is Will Chen. I'm with SciTime Champion Toastmaster. My main task here, I founded the Toastmaster last year. We have a lot of members joining, but not many members going through the pathways. Main task here, I was how to motivate my members to enroll into pathway and to learn and gain from pathway. Thank you.
Thank you. Saipiron. Sai.
Hi, this is Saipiron. I am part of the AbbVie Bay Area Toastmasters Club in California, and I just like to learn more about pathways. I just started on a pathway, but it'll be great to learn more about the different aspects of it as well.
Thank you very much. Shalini?
Hi, Raghu. This is Shalini. I'm just walking my dog. So I'm with Career Nexus Toastmasters here in Bay Area. Actually, we are not just Bay Area. We have people from all over. We have one member from Chicago too. But the reason I'm here is I'm new to Toastmasters. I joined about three months ago. And I'm just trying to understand pathways really well so I can benefit from it and I can help other people in my club also to benefit from it.
Thank you very much. Stephen. Sorry, Stephanie.
Hello, same reason as everybody else, just new and want to learn more. Thank you. Southern California.
Thank you very much. Yep, pathways, let us see what, for anything that we seek, we want to learn, there are 3 things that we must ask. Why, what, and how. We are going to learn about the 3 dimensions of pathways. Why pathways? And or what is pathways, and then we go into why and then how. To start with, what is, or rather, when did the pathway start? In 2010, it was first introduced to change the current curriculum that was going on. And in 2018, Pathways program was officially launched. And the time it took was 2 years to fully adapt to change to Pathways completely. The two programs were going parallelly, the traditional program and the Pathways program. In 2020, June, the traditional program ended, and then from 2020 July, the Pathways program officially started. So what is so much into Pathways? Today, if I call it, it is the education program offered by Postmasters completely. It is both interactive and flexible. Why it is flexible is something that we are going to know in coming slide. It has both online and physical content. For example, let us say you want manuals and you want to work through manuals and not the online content. Yep, there is a possibility there. You can purchase that, the printed material with extra $20 or 25, I believe. And then other beauty is it is available in about 11 plus languages. The Chinese, Arabic, and then even in Tamil and other languages. So that is the flexibility of this program. Now coming to why pathways. So if we want to look at compare till now the the other programs offered by Toastmaster International, when it comes to pathways, you can learn more than 300 competencies working on the different projects. We'll map it to the pathways and also the projects and then learn more about it. Now, when it comes to choosing a path, you have 11 different paths that you can choose. 11 different paths where you can just explore the options, whether it is in line with your learning in Toastmasters, or whether it is in line with the career that you are changing into, or anything that you aspire for. And then the skills that you are learning in pathways are mapped to real world. And this is some data. If you look at how pathways is adopted across the world. Now there are about 144,389 active paths. This is something about data from 2019, but today it must be much more than that. Now, what are the core competencies that we are talking about? There are 300 competencies, but if you look at pathways, core competencies that we will need to know before we select a path. First thing is everybody or every one of you in the room or everyone chooses to become a Toastmaster. There are certain things that you join for. First thing is public speaking. Improve your public speaking skills. Second thing is interpersonal communication. I joined Toastmaster initially was to not just public speaking, it was to improve my interpersonal skills. The way that I used to communicate, I had challenges in that. The way that my mind worked and what I wrote in my emails or what I spoke was completely different. So the second thing was I was unable to communicate properly, whether it was my stuttering problem or whether it is the way it was disconnected. And third thing was I used to react a lot. I used to read half the email and then react. So these competencies have helped me a lot. For example, looking at interpersonal communication or strategic leadership or the building confidence. This helped me a lot. Today, if I have to speak impromptu before a large audience, it helps me a lot in that part. Leading and managing. When it comes to your advanced projects in level 4 or level 5, you are going to learn these skills practically. Now, confidence and public speaking are the basic competencies that you have in every path. Now, other competencies that you learn in your regular practice is critical thinking and active listening. We also have some projects based upon this. Now, what are the disciplines that you learn with this combination of core competencies? Is first thing is public speaking and management, and then also public speaking and strategic leadership, interpersonal communication and management, interpersonal communication and strategic leadership, public speaking and interpersonal communication. Now let us see, how do we select a pathway? Most of you were curious to know, how do we select a pathway? Now, again, we'll look into these core competencies: public speaking, interpersonal communication, strategic leadership, leading and managing, and building competency. Now, this chart is now when you go to your let's say when you log into TI, how do you select a path? This is simple navigation. You go to pathways on the menu, and then you click choose a path. When you go there, it gives you an option, the language that you want to choose for your path, then the digital resource, and there are two options. Either you choose from the existing list of pathways, or you take an assessment. Now, let us see what does it give in each option. When you choose view all path option, it gives you all these paths here, and then it gives you a glimpse of each path, giving whether you want to see what does it has to offer, talking about what does it the path is about. Then also you can go and show a glimpse of the different projects that each path is offering. If you are going other way around, if you want to take the assessment, it has to, you're asked to select the 3 core competencies that you want to learn. Right now, what is your priority? Say, what is your 3 competencies which you want to acquire as a priority over this path, rather now in the journey? Based upon that, it will ask several questions, and the outcome, it arranges the paths in the order which is in line with the results of that survey. Now you want to choose on your own, or you want to trust the survey, is up to you. For example, when I choose my first path, it was solely upon my choice and not what the survey offered. I wanted to be able to persuade my team to work together on certain goals that we had for our team. What I did was I chose persuasive influence, which I thought was powerful path for me, or rather apt path for at that point of time. Now, coming to paths and the competencies, now each one of you asked, or rather most of you were curious to know how or why or how should we choose a path. This is a chart that is going to help. We talked about 5 competencies: public speaking, interpersonal communication, strategic leadership, management, and then we're talking about confidence. Now, when it comes to each part, these are lined in with competencies. Now, if I look at dynamic leadership, how do I see it? Is that 1 is main, public speaking, and then 2, another core competency it's offering is interpersonal communication. Now, 3 is your strategic leadership, and 5 is confidence. Now, if you look at every part, the 2 components that it by default, it has public speaking and confidence. Other competencies that it offered, it depends upon each part. Now, the 2 things that you need to be sure of. First thing is, what are the competencies that you want to acquire in a path? Second thing is, what is that your personal life or professional life is demanding? For example, are you in a senior management position, right? And you are looking for skills which you can use to, let us say, coach your team. Effective coaching is the best path for you there, where you can coach or where you acquire skills that is That will help you a lot in coaching your team. Are you aspiring to become a leader or a manager? Are you moving into a lead position or manager position? Leadership development. Or then if you want to work with a team to become a better team player, is team collaboration. Now, if you are in a leader position, but then you want to choose a path that will help you better in building relations, that is strategic leadership is something, a dynamic leadership. And then if you want to work better with your colleagues, what I chose in the beginning was persuasive influence. You want to motivate others. When you want to become a motivational speaker, that was my goal when I chose my second path, motivational strategies. You just want to learn skills to tickle the board and then enjoy your moments with your colleagues, your friends, maybe in Toastmaster itself. Engaging humor, one of the challenging parts where you have to improve your skills into the humor language. This is something where you choose competencies and your personal aspirations. So this is a very important slide, and I will stop here and pause, see if anybody has any questions. Nagaraj.
Yeah, Raghu. So one question I had was, we can see some of the pathways have or share the same core competency. For example, dynamic leadership and motivational strategies. So is there any other section which describes what other competencies or something that will benefit with that particular pathway? Or is it just with the description that we have under each pathways that we need to choose from?
Right. So if you're looking at the brief description, it has here. And then also we talked about sneak peek into the path, when you can go and look into the projects that the path is offering. Now, when you level one stays same. Now, if you are from, when you go to graduation, certain streams have first year same. You have the same subjects across the different streams. In same way, in pathways, level one remains same. What you need to look at is what is it have offering as part of your level 2, level 3, level 4, and level 5. Especially level 4 and level 5 is where you are learning the core skills of that path. When it comes to dynamic leadership, you can read here, build strategic leadership and conflict resolution skills. There are projects to do that. You will learn how to avoid conflict. And you learn also about the leadership skills, different thing. For example, in level 2, almost most of the paths have where you identify your leadership style and how it works towards that. But what does this step have? Other path has is conflict resolution, where you do some research or do some project there and then you give a speech there. When it comes to motivational, is about you learn how to motivate others. There's a project which talks about motivating, where you need to work with a team, motivating, or and come give a speech, or in a meeting you need to motivate people to for them come to a place where you need to achieve something out of that motivation. Build motivational leadership and communication skills. So there's two different things. The core competencies is one thing. Second thing is what you want to achieve out of completion of path. This is a journey, right? And this is not going to end with one path, but first path selection matters a lot. You need to align with your competencies choice. And second thing is with your personal aspirations. Hope that answers your question, Nagaraj, or did I confuse you a lot?
No, that answers, that explains. Thanks, Raghu.
Any other questions?
I was wondering, you mentioned, depending on your, kind of like situation in life as well and what you want to achieve. I was wondering, do you recommend building up on strengths you already have, or maybe choosing something that where you feel like there's a weakness to for a pathway?
Okay, you mean to say when selecting a path?
Correct.
What
So
I
when
would say,
selecting, go ahead.
sorry, please complete what you were saying.
Yeah. So I guess my question is, when selecting a path, do you recommend choosing a path where you feel like you have strengths in it already, so you can be stronger in it, or where you feel like there's you want to improve there because you're weak at that, and so you can be better at it?
Okay. One thing I would say is Toastmasters is all about your self-paced journey, is how you want to plan it. Then you have a mentor, and then also you discuss and you decide on that. This is just rather the vision of path. It's one thing on you, what you want to pick up on competencies, and then what you want to develop there. What I would suggest is pick up your weak areas and then try to work upon that. Always trying to work what you already have as strength. It depends on what the best combination is what you pick up there. What do you have your as strengths? So this is the questionnaire that you have when you look into the survey. So we mostly suggest new members to take that survey, even if you don't select the path that it is suggesting. It asks you rating on each competency. It's the same question that you ask, whether I work upon my strengths to or pick up something that I'm in weekend. So the way that you answered those questions, it orders the path based upon that. So you either choose what it is recommending based upon the questionnaire, the combination of the way that you ask, the way that you answer. And then in the end, you choose again based upon what you want at that point of time, whether it can be the weakness or the strength or the combination of. Does it answer, Gary?
Yes, thank you for clarifying.
Any other question? Okay. Now, what are the projects that we have? Here is a glimpse, and also these projects are in line with the path, and also when you look into the competencies, this is the way that we see. Now, level 1 is common across every project, every path. So let us see, what does the level 1 have? When it comes to level 1, start with an icebreaker. Icebreaker is just simple breaking the ice and introducing yourself to the club. Now, icebreaker is something that I would say is one of the speeches that you do almost in every walk of life. Tell me more about yourself. The question that you see, the first question that you see in a job interview. You introduce yourself as soon as you join a company. You have a new family member. The family member introduces himself or herself to the family. There are different walks of life where you introduce yourself. And how you introduce yourself is all up to you. That's the beauty of this speech or project. Now you have another project, writing speech with a purpose, where you learn to have a purpose in the speech that you write. Then it is voice modulation and body language, because that important aspects while you deliver a speech. And then evaluation and feedback. Now, for those who joined before the new level 1 was introduced, you have evaluation, feedback, and researching and present in the previous pathway when you have selected before. Now, research and present right now is moved to level 3 elective. It is where you learn how to research and present. And where do you do the research and present? I would say you do research almost in every walk of life. For example, when I try to create this big PowerPoint, or maybe when you have to research an uncharted waters in your office. For example, you have to select a software for your next project. You want to acquire a new software for that. Or you're trying to see who is the best vendor in the market. Do research. You get all the details that is required, and then you present before your senior committee or maybe before your clients or blah, blah, blah. Anyway, you do that. That is what you are learning here. When it comes to level 2 is learning your style. We talked about it. Learn your leadership style. What is your leadership style? There's a survey that runs in that project, and you identify your style and what are the aspects. For example, in one of the clubs, I tried to put some goals without discussing with my EC, my executive committee, and they thought that I was an aristocratic leader, but it was a mistake. Then we went, and then when we discussed, we found out that it was not the case. So what was this? That's something that happened because the decision that you made. So you identify your style. What was the effect on people, whether it worked or not? For example, let us say I'm a democratic leader, and I always ask people for questions, and then based upon that, I make an outcome. But does that work every point of time? Let us say that we have to take a decision within 15 minutes. If I wait for people to give their decision, or let us say and then I collect, let's say, okay, 50-50, then 1%. If I wait for that, it might take a lot of time. It doesn't work in every situation. So I had to make hard decision at that point of time, right? Similarly, how it is there and how is your communication style, whether you are direct or whether you were just trying to connect with people, or how is it happening? It all depends based upon that. So you understand, introspect your journey so far and try to identify your style. And then whether it's connecting with audience, managing time, blah, blah, blah. And the important projects, cross-cultural understanding comes in two different paths. This is where you understand about different cultures. And then the one common project across all your L2 or level 2 is where you understand about mentoring. Mentoring, especially the vision of masters in mentoring. Level 3 is where you increase your knowledge. We have a lot of electives. In this elective, you learn about storytelling, you learn about connecting with audience, negotiate the best outcome, present a proposal, these are core projects actually. Present a proposal is something like your elevator pitch or investment pitch that you give before your customer, or maybe the proposal that you give in your office presentations, or maybe even before your family members. For example, let us say that I want to go on a picnic to a location that I want, or rather my family wants to go to a picnic in a different place. So I'm presenting a one proposal, they are presenting a different proposal. And in the end, we decide which one is the best, or rather I'm able to convince my family or not. So that different aspects are that flexible is this. So some projects are where we do certain activity and then come and give a speech, or we do that activity in that meeting itself. And then, for example, negotiate the best outcome is where you work with a team, rather in the meeting itself with 20 plus members, and then like come to a conclusion on something. It's not something that easily possible, but you learn that art here. But when it comes to level 4 is building skills, where you do activities, and based upon those activities, you before that and after that, you might have to give a speech. Sometimes it is only one speech. For example, manage change, where you are proposing a change that is coming and how we are going to manage. Manage a project successfully is where you do manage a project, right? For example, if it is to budget, rather you have some expenses that you carry on, and then how do you manage? For example, you're planning a travel, let's say from California to Minnesota, someplace. It has some budget. What is that budget? What are the resources? What is who as a team is going to help you from your family? And what is that plan? And execute it. It involves time, planning, resource. And then you also introspect after that is completed. So that is what you're going to do here. There was a simple example. You're going to work on a project, you give a speech, and for example, when you have a vision, your team, and your measurable goals. And in the end, you give a speech after the completion of the project, how it went over time. Now, the leading your team and also motivating others is where you motivate others to do something that can be within a meeting, or maybe you work with a certain team to achieve something. For example, I introduce to use pathways for the best benefit and also a mentoring capacity in my club, and they use that for my project. The best part in pathways is the flexibility of mapping these to outside your Toastmaster community. You might use it for building your church or working with your church members, or maybe for working on a charity event, or maybe in your family event. It can be in every walk of life. And what you need to do is these speeches, especially when you are going to present, it must be before a audience, sorry, where you will get evaluated by a Toastmaster. That is the only condition. Otherwise, you can do even your speeches between non-Toastmasters, before the non-Toastmaster audience also, and but at least one person should be a Toastmaster who is evaluating your speech. So these are something that is the part of your level. And level 5 is where is more demonstrating your expertise that you learn in that path. Now, first, leading in any situation, there are some difficult parts in life where you need to lead in a way. And high performance leadership is one thing more close with your project, where you are to show your high performance skills, your team, resources, and then also what is your outcome, are the measurable goals that you have. First, you present your vision, and second thing is after completion, how was the experience? Not one beauty. Rather, if you're working in a major organization, there's always an email or survey that you take every year, 360 degrees feedback, where you need to give feedback to your boss also, and also the organization. Same thing that happens in here when you're working in this project, HPL, DTM project, or manage your project. This 360 degrees evaluation gives the feedback from your team, where they mention how was your attitude in all while working with you on that project. This is very important for you to learn how to become a better leader. Now, we saw in level 2, right? Understanding your style, your leadership style, or your communication style. Now, these 360 degrees feedback is a testimony of how effective was your leadership style or communication style. Now, these are something that you learn. Very important is where you learn how to speak professionally, a speech for 18 to 22 minutes. And then also when you develop a vision as a leader, you have to have a vision and then work towards it. So these are something that you learn. The common project across all paths is reflecting on your path. 10 to 12 minute speech talking about your learnings in that path after you complete the path. You complete your level 5, close that, and then go forward and give the speech, reflect your path, and that is how you submit completion of your path. I'll stop there for any questions before going to the next part, which is doing your first speech icebreaker. Any questions? I take the silence as none. Last call for any questions.
I didn't quite catch the levels. Like for each pathway, do you recommend going through levels 1 to 5, or is it like once you hit level 1 on a pathway, you can change to a, or level 2 on a pathway, you can switch to a different pathway?
No. The question might be I'll rephrase your question. Actually, the question that you always get when you choose a path, can I change my mind and choose a different path? You can do that if you don't close any of your projects and write to supply chain orders at toastmasters.org and ask them about changing your path to a different path, and they will do it. You need to do that within, I believe, about 30 to 90 days period, and then they will change that path for you. Level, but I just gave you a glimpse of what each level has to offer in pathways. Why? Because when you are going to do the sneak peek in your path, you will look into these projects that it has to offer. I'll show you that in real time in Toastmaster website, and maybe that will help you there to see what it has to offer, and then probably it will make more sense. Any questions? Okay, no problem. We'll move to the next section, which is accessing your base camp and then the icebreaker speech. Now, all the navigation has changed in Toastmaster website right now. You go to your profile, and then you see on the left side, go to base camp. If you're part of multiple clubs, it gives you an option, the drop down, to choose your club and then select go. When you do that, you go to your base camp. Now you have your level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, and path completion on the left side. So you select your level 1 and then click on, you see an icebreaker here, and then click on activate. Now, while you do on each project, there's one assess your skills before and assess your skills after. If you remember the chart that we looked into about the path project combination, each project, each speed has competencies and skills related to that. These questions are based upon that competencies that this project has to offer. It will ask you to rate yourself out of 5. Before starting on that, for example, your icebreaker speech is the first speech that you do. The first question it asks is, I feel relaxed when giving a speech. It's more like your confidence or audience comfort. Are you able to do it? Is something that you need to answer out of 5, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then once you complete that speech, you do the training and you complete survey training, and then based upon that, you work upon your speech, then you present your speech, come back before marking it complete. So how do you mark it complete is complete your SSU skills after. Be honest when you do this survey, because this is more like introspecting your journey on the path. And then when you do this rating, I would suggest go and put this in a tracking sheet. You did your icebreaker, and what was your rating before and what was your rating after. When you do that, you will be able to track your journey from where you started and then where you are right now. Now, in any project, the navigation is very important. You must understand. When you click on the drop downs below, you see the navigation. For icebreaker, this is what you see. Start with an introduction, what is assembly it has to offer, assess your skills before, and the competencies that you're going to learn as part of this project. Then your icebreaker, goals, and prepare and present. And your speech here, it gives you the outline, how to prepare for the outline, and then how to complete your assignment. And the last is where you assess your skills after, and then before you move on, there's something, the data that it gives. Now, if you want to look at a glimpse of what a project has to offer, this is the sheet, your evaluation. First thing is your evaluation resource that you need to give to your speech evaluator. And then print my project is where you can download the PDF of your project and they can look at it a later part if you don't want to navigate at this point of time. Maybe when you're traveling or maybe when you are on phone, you can download as a PDF and save it on your mobile. Maybe when you're traveling, you can just have a glimpse of that project through the PDF that you downloaded. For the icebreaker, it also gives, the beauty is that it gives you an outline. What are something that you can have? What you can have is when you can talk about how your journey in the childhood, your school, college, and then in the end, what is that? Why did you come join Toastmasters and talk about the closing part? Then also you can give feedback was it's a specific project. Now, if I talk about icebreaker speech purpose or what Toastmaster International gives is introduce yourself to the club and learn the basic structure of the speech. You're going to write and deliver a speech where you introduce yourself, and it can be in any way that you want, humorous, informational, or any other style. It doesn't say that it has to be this way, just the way that you talk to your friends. That's what you need to do. What is a structure that you can follow? Rather, what we generally follow in any speech is the opening, body, and conclusion. Irrespective of the fact it being just your introduction, if you can align your speech in this structure, it's good. Because what is your central idea of giving your icebreaker? For example, let us say that you went through the hardship of your life, or rather you try to adapt to every change that you got, and then you're able to succeed in your life, adapt to change. You can start with a quote or something that in relation with what you're trying to give a message and also in line with your story. Then talk about it in a sequential way. Arrange your story in a sequential way because it's not a suspense thriller. It is all your story that you want to simplify for people to understand. Why? Because every speech is where we are trying to learn our communication, and the communication is for other person to understand, but not you. Whether you write an email or whether you're trying to talk to people, maybe in a cafeteria, or maybe officially you're trying to present something, everywhere, everything is a speech. And all that communication is for others to understand. That is what you're practicing in pathways to do that. To follow this structure, opening, body, where you arrange your information in a sequential way, and the conclusion. What is that single takeaway that you're giving to the audience? Now, rather, I stop here and wait for any questions. Any questions on icebreaker and also structure of a speech? Last call. Any questions? No problem. What is the life cycle of a speech? How do you give a speech? This is something that I would recommend is first access your base camp, go there, do the training, what the pathway has to offer for that specific project that you're trying to attempt. Go to that, assess your skills before, complete your training based upon that, prepare a draft or rather outline an idea how you want to do it. Discuss that outline with your mentor. Come up with a speech draft. Discuss with your mentor and seek recommendations. Once you have your recommendations, prepare your final draft, practice it. Once you keep practicing it, that there might be certain mistakes that you see, maybe grammatical mistakes or something that you think that you can make it effective. Once you do the practice, then you can go forward and then do you can practice it at home before the audience. And in the end, deliver the speech, and based upon the evaluation that you get, you can improve the speech further in your next speech. What is that you should do for making it effective is seeking help from your mentor or senior Toastmaster who is assisting you there, and ensure that you are doing the training and not just picking up some lines and trying to do a speech. I've seen most of the times people just look at a line before that project and try to go and attempt a speech without even knowing what was the purpose of that specific speech. Do your training. Why? Because there's a lot of material, a very, must say, a good material to understand. It will help you to introspect. It will help you to learn different things. For example, learning about different leadership styles. While we are introspecting, our style is not something that you can see in every place. The evaluation that happens in Toastmaster, whether it's from your mentor or from someone who is evaluating a speech, this is not what is offered outside. Everybody judges you. But in Toastmasters, this evaluation helps you to identify what are the shortcomings or rather improvement areas, and then how you can improve on them. So you try to work upon that and track your development. Prepare that. My first speech, these were the improvement areas and these were the strengths, commendation and recommendations, and try to work upon that while you prepare for your second speech. And when you do that, your journey becomes marvelous. What you need to do is pay focus on why and why you want to select a pathway. Second thing is pay focus on your journey in the pathways. When you select a pathway, try to navigate and look into all the details first. When it comes to the core values of Toastmaster, we talk about integrity, respect, service, and excellence. Not leaving aside respect and service. I will talk about integrity and excellence here. Now, excellence is not something that you achieve in one day. It has to become a habit. Now, we have seen what is the life cycle of doing a project. Now, this is what you need to inculcate to achieve the excellence. My mentor pushed me to do my icebreaker speech 6 times. I had to rewrite 6 times. So I felt grumpy at that moment of time, but it helped me to rewrite the speech 6 times and then also preparing on that several times. It improved my communication multi-fold. Now I read my email. Sometimes I reread it completely. It helps me with the effective communication, whether it is impromptu or whether it is prepared. My emails, the way that I talk to people, the way that I respond to people, it has helped a lot in all those folds just because of this practice. Now, integrity is how you complete your projects. Now, if I just have to complete, go click all the completion of before and after survey and just mark it complete, like your corporate trainings that we do, the mandatory trainings. Most of the corporate mandatory trainings is where people do that. But does that suffice? Does that give you anything apart from those certificates that pathway is giving? No, it doesn't give you anything. It gives you only the certificate, and it's useless without you actually learning. So this integrity in following this life cycle to achieve excellence is what is going to help you in the journey of Toastmasters. I hope this helps you, this marks your first step into Toastmaster journey, or maybe make important decisions in the journey of Toastmasters, and wish you all the best. Happy learning. I'm open to question and answers now.
Raghu, can I
Hey,
share
Raghu,
something? Yeah.
I have
Go
a
ahead.
quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Will, thank you. Hey, Raghu, thank you for sharing. It's a great presentation and help understanding pathways. Just wondering if you can share the slide with us when I can promote these pathways to the club. And that's a very good summary instead of going through the website, a lot of information, but there's too many details.
I'll do that. And one more thing I will share is, you might be wondering whether there's any way to save your evaluations. When you log into your Basecamp, there's a folder called My Documents. And in that, you have these documents about level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. So you can save your evaluation sheet that you're getting from your evaluator, and then just name it give a unique name. For example, let us say how I would do is my name and then the title of my speech and the level and also the project number and where I attempted. So whatever that you're giving with the path, when you do that, tomorrow it's very easy for you to track your evaluations. This is a very important folder which helps you look at the different evaluations that you have achieved. And it's good to save your evaluations there. Thank you. So Abhijit, go ahead.
Yes. I want to share one shortcut with people. Like, I'm going to share this link with you. So this is the link which shows all the different pathways which Raghu showed. I really like this link because if I can click anywhere, it gives me a chance to see the overview of all the pathways of all the different 5 levels. And depending upon that, I can decide if I want to choose my pathways, especially the level 4 and the level 5 speeches. Am I comfortable with those? And it also, this is really good. It gives you a small glimpse of things, what those projects is about. And this is like it gives you a nice overview of what the slides also which Raghu shared. So if you have any questions, do ask. Okay, I'll share this one with you. This was my Bible. This is still my Bible. I use it every time when I do the pathways. I look at this. Once my pathway is fixed, I will take a picture of this page, put it on my desk, so I know which projects are coming. I can think about it. I can plan accordingly well ahead of time. And I look at the glimpse, what is the project about, and then go into Toastmasters Pathways website and do that module. So it gives me a complete understanding what is needed in that speech. Back to you, Raghu.
Sure. I also have an Excel sheet, the group of Excel sheets for tracking your progress in path with your projects that are upcoming in each path. I'll share that, and I'll share one thing. Let me know when you see my screen.
You see your screen.
Okay. Now we talked about selecting a path. So let us select one path. Choose a path. Now I'll say I want to access through digital resources and then say I'll say view all our path options. When I come here to screen, now my path, let us say presentation mastery. Build your skills as an accomplished public speaker. Now that doesn't give me glimpse or the details of what this path has to offer. I'll go to this, and this helps me. The path helps you build your skills as an accomplished public speaker and the blah blah what it has to offer. And also I will look at a different project. For example, let us say I think that the navigation has changed. Yeah, there's a way to look into, give me a minute, look into what projects each path has to offer. Give me a minute. I'll send that. I think it's completely changed how we do it in the website. I'll send that link to where it has a different information about the path. So that will give you more options and how you should select the path. It gives you the project it has to offer and what is it about in each project. So that is something I'll send that resource to. So anybody has any questions?
No questions, but thank you. It was marvelous. It's good to have reviews. I think I would like to also maybe just focus on one little section and have a talk about that. This is the broad picture, which is great. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you so much, Raghu. We really appreciate all the feedback. I saw some of the slides for the first time. So thank you for enlightening us. Thank you for sharing your journey with us. Our next event is going to be on November 10th. We are going to talk about how to have great Toastmasters meetings. I have kept the link. I've shared the link in the chat. Please see what future events are being announced, and please sign up. Thank you so much. We'll see you at the next event, which is on November 10th at 6 p.m. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing.
Thank you, everyone.